Hello, welcome to Galen's Got Parkinson's, episode 7. I'm going to do the first part of an effort in painting a figure with incredibly shaky hands, and it's going to be this chap. I've deliberately not taken the tablet at the right time, so I'm worse than I might normally be, and I've not done my exercises. I want you to see how hard it might be and see what happens. I've stood him on this little plastic thing, so I get a better view. Now, when he came, they're from Fallout, protectorons. I seem to want to do everything like games and figures with really hard names to pronounce. They come sort of with this resin stuff. See, that way. The bases I find really tricky, and if you're not careful, and you're snipping them to fit, you end up with the legs falling off. So I thought I'd even do this bit. I've got a pair of these. And I'm just going to do it at an angle. And I'm not doing a lot. There we go. Bing! I'm doing a little bit on each side. There we go. Then I had to buy some new bases because mine didn't have slots that were big enough. To get them in the slot can be quite tricky. So again, it's even more tricky to try and show you. I fit him in so he goes in a bit like that, so he's not quite in, and I get my little snippers and I just ease him in, and then he comes out the other side, and we have to ease him in again, and so on and so forth, until eventually, click, he's in. Now you might think, well, that was a lot of fuss, and it was, but I did it for a reason, because I wanted to show you everything that can happen, pitfalls, good bits, bad bits, how to solve the problems I have to solve, you have to solve, we all have to solve. These men I started to show you a few episodes ago, and I was doing one as a policeman, and I'd painted him all white, and then I covered him in blue ink, and I said I was going to mess about with him. I've done him, I haven't done his face, but I've done him. He now looks like that. So you've got, I painted him all white, I inked him, I did him a blue flashing light helmet, I dry brushed a bit round his star. Any bits that were really easy to paint, I painted white, and then I went over with inks, and I went over with a rust effect. I haven't quite finished it. I'm going to do another rust coat or two, and that's where he is now. So I'll put him there with his pals. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to decide which to do. What I'm going to do, this one, he's going to be a construction droid, so I quite fancy him being yellow. I'm using a medium Citadel shade brush. It can be any brush you like, but I like to have quite a big brush, and I'm using Foundry paint. This is yellow shade, because the nice thing about Foundry, and I told you about Sam sending me that email from Foundry saying this was okay. The nice thing about Foundry is, if you can buy a single pot of paint, but if you buy the set of yellow, for example, you get yellow shade, you get yellow, and then you get a light yellow, and they all go together really well. So this is how I have got over having shapes. So I'll paint the whole thing yellow, because he's going to be yellow, and you can see, look, I'm not trying to be clever. I couldn't be clever if I tried. La, la, la. I could do some like sort of sing-along. I'm busy doing nothing, working the whole day through, trying to find lots of things not to do. I'm busy going nowhere, isn't it such a crime? I'd like to be unhappy, but I never do have the time. La 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 la. La, 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 la. Now, I'm not bothered, I'm smudging on things, I'm going on the base, I'm going all over my fingers, don't matter. It's totally, utterly irrelevant for what's going to happen next. And actually, the more my hand shakes, the easier I'm finding it to get into the Canucks and crannies. Hello, can you see me? So this yellow flig's nearly done now. Took about 5 minutes. So if you get rid of all the nattering I did and all the nonsense. So he's just covered from head to foot in yellow, because he's going to be my construction worker. Put him there. Now I am boldly, because I'm well under the 10 minutes, I'm boldly now going to do Fireman Sam. Where is he? There he is with his big hole. Oh, he's come out of his what's it? Fireman Sam. He's come out of his big holes. Pop him back in. And I'm going to have to glue that in a bit. I'll glue it off camera another day. The next time when you come back, I'll glue. So he's going to be Fireman. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do these two, construction worker, fireman. I worked quite a long way through the policeman. And then the next time when you come back, I'll have undercoated the hospital protectoron. These now fell off. I can't give me the old. Oh, man. And a sort of general mine worker. I'll do them. So when we come back for episode 8, they'll all be undercoated, and I can do the next bit. Makes sense? Of course it does. You love me. What was I doing? Oh, Fireman Sam. Yeah, right. So for this one, I'm going for brick red, because I want a darker red. I'm going to build them up. So brick red. Here we go. And you must never ever worry that you can't do things nicely. I used to think, well, I can't paint like I used to. But then, when I was a teenager, and when I was sort of 12, when I started the hobby, I didn't really worry then about painting for anybody else. I was painting for myself. And then as I got older, it was like, oh, I want people to go ooh and ah and say how wonderful I am. And I thought, oh, why? Don't matter, does it? I'm still doing the hobby, and I'm enjoying it, and these figures work for me. At the end of this, you might look at what I've done and think, well, that's not for me, because I like my figures to be really neat and pretty, and mine aren't. But I can't paint them neat and pretty. What I'm doing, I'm showing you what I do in the absence of having a neat and pretty gene. There we go. Nearly done, nearly done, nearly done. Now, I'm convinced and certain that I'm going to have to apologise for this when it's on YouTube, because I suspect my wobbly hands, most of that has gone out of shot, off the camera, up the creek without a paddle. So that's just life, isn't it? Here we are. Look, that's the yellow one I did. So they're the two together now, having a little chat. And perhaps I can show you the white one again, like that. And we'll let them dry completely. The next thing I'm going to do is, for this one, I'm going to take a lighter red. So I'm going to go to my Scarlet shade, made by Foundry. And I'm just going to dry brush him, really. It's a bit more than dry brushing. I don't make it proper dry brushing, it's thicker than that. And then I'm going to go to the lightest Scarlet of all, and I'm going to use that. And in between, I'm going to use a red inky wash to get into all the nooks and crannies. So there we are. That was probably fairly horrible out of focus and difficult to follow because of my shaky hands. But the whole point is I've got shaky hands, so that's why the policeman's down in that corner there, look, keeping an eye on you, just in case you say anything untoward. I hope you're painting, hope you're having a good time, hope you're having a nice day. Look forward to seeing you next time with a bit of luck. So, off button. Bye.